Well, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So, like I promised, I wanted to make a video talking about why I ended up getting rid of my Ram, why I'm kind of taking a break from Ram pretty much entirely right now, and why I went ahead and jumped on board with the GMC gang. Now, honestly, it was not easy for me to do. My dream truck was always a Ram with a Cummins, whatever it was going to be. That was always what I wanted. I had my dream truck basically, and I loved my truck. And God, I probably test drove maybe almost a dozen. I don't want to say a dozen, but probably 6 to 8 23s and 24 Rams when they were, doing some pretty good deals. I went and checked out a lot of trucks. I really wanted to move into another Ram, but ultimately, I couldn't do it to myself. I couldn't put myself through that pain anymore. So, really, the start of all of this really goes back to, honestly, almost day one. I had a lot of issues, quality control issues with my truck. Now, nothing crazy. The sunroof wasn't. They didn't finish putting the sunroof in, so it was bouncing around. The belt buckles on the back of the seats fell off. Part of the center console broke. Yada yada yada, so on and so on. Just stupid little stuff. Nothing major, but I guess it was back in March now, I want to say March or April, and I never ended up making a video about this, but I ended up having a grenaded 68 RFE. My truck completely, I don't want to say completely, but under any amount of load whatsoever, any get up and go, you basically had to baby the truck through it, but I totally lost third gear. And when they pulled the tranny, they ended up finding, they said basically pencil eraser size chunks in the oil pan of the transmission. So that was strike number 2 really for me. My truck was never really put together very well. I still loved it, drove phenomenal, sounded great, towed amazing, checked all the boxes. Strike number 3 for me on my Ram was probably in the past couple weeks, actually about the past month or so, I would say. I'd say right about 58,000 miles, something like that, give or take. My truck started regenning a lot, and I would probably say every maybe 6 to 8 engine hours, if I was driving on a daily basis, if I wasn't at work when my truck would be parked, it was probably something like every third day, give or take. So 3 days, on the third day it would do a regen, so on and so forth. Fuel economy started nosediving pretty significantly, and the truck was just really, really underpowered. I noticed that the DPF was packing up really quick. It would do a regen, and it was regenning probably somewhere in the range of 30 to 40 minutes per regen, somewhere in that range. So pretty significant time frames on the regens. Go about another week. Now I start regenning every day, sometimes twice a day. And at that point, I knew something wasn't right. I scheduled a service appointment for the truck, and boom, there comes the check engine light. I believe the code was P0299. It was a turbocharger underboost issue. So what did I do? I pulled the intake, or the cold air, I pulled the intake tube off the compressor side of the turbo. What do I find? A slew of oil. Now, I know that there's that overflow, or I don't know, I want to call it overflow, but that breather, that vent tube that comes from it looks like the crankcase ventilation filter. I'm going to assume that's what it's coming from. That's where the line is. So I pulled that off, boatload of oil in there. I'm like, great. So is it a DPF? Is it the EGR valve? Is it the turbocharger? Is it something else? I don't know. There's a whole slew of things that are going on here, but the truck's running like crap. I didn't have enough power a couple times to get onto the freeway with my trailer, which was not cool. Yeah, so truck's way down on power. fuel economy is terrible, and then I'm getting the check engine light. The truck was actually sputtering pretty significantly, and then it would just roar to life out of nowhere. The truck was all over the place, and that was when I decided I had had enough. The truck was going to need, some stuff like brakes. It was going to need a crankcase ventilation filter, EGR valve cleaning. And at that point, I did not want to put more money into this truck that I've already sank a ton of money into, that I shouldn't have kept this long. I had to draw the line somewhere. Now, I know just because I, had bad luck with mine, that doesn't mean they're all bad. And I really genuinely did want to get another Ram. One, because they're running some respectable rebates right now. Nothing that's blowing my mind, but, about 10, 12 off, maybe 14K off here and there, which is good. So, it makes a $97,000 truck, mid-80s, which is great, because mid-80s is a lot less than what I paid for that truck. So I just wanted to go affordable. I wanted to go cheap. But if anybody's been seeing what's been going on with Ram lately, one great guy I love to watch, PD Diesel. I'm sure a lot of guys maybe on here watch him. And then a guy, JB Reviews, he started putting some videos out lately. But 2022s and up, it looks like, because one of the JB Reviews videos that I saw, they had a 2023 that threw a connecting rod through the block. And PD Diesel, that guy who super smart, love watching his stuff, listening to his stuff. Every single one of his 22s had emission systems issues, it looked like, or cam lifter issues, engine failures, all the above. He had nothing but problems. And then, of course, we had the icing issues past couple years with the snap ring. I don't know if they really fixed that or not. Maybe they did. I'm not really sure. But I guess the more I really thought about it, even though I'm looking at, going significantly more affordable than what this truck would be, which I really I don't want to spend money anymore. And really, I guess I should have kept my truck and just, had some stuff done to it, and that would have been cheaper than doing this. But ultimately, I decided, is it really worth getting into another Ram when they're having what seems like some pretty significant issues, especially with the high output? I don't trust the 68 RFE anymore, even though I really like driving the 68 RFE. I actually think it's a really nice driving transmission. I never had any complaints other than when it basically grenaded itself. That's when I did start to complain. But otherwise, I thought it was a great driving truck. I loved the power, the standard output. Honestly, the power on the standard output felt a bit more raw than this truck. Now, this truck only has, I think after I drove over here, 570 miles now in a week. So I'm sure the transmission's learning, the engine's loosening up. Every day it's different. Every drive it's different, actually. So I'm not going to hold too much against this truck right now, but I will always prefer the Cummins. I don't think there's anything that'll ever change that. I love the Cummins. I just love the way it drives, and I love the Ram styling and everything. I really do. But right now, with everything that I've seen, with recall issues, everything that I've seen from, the guy, like I said, PD Diesel, him having just tons and tons and tons of issues, and other stuff where trucks are making it to 30, 40,000 miles and the motors are letting go, and they're throwing connecting rods, and they're having cam failures, and they're having lifter failures, and they're having rocker failures, and this, that, and the other. I decided I'm gonna pass for now, and I'm gonna try out something new. Now, will I try a 2025 Ram? I really think I will. I really need to see Ram move in the right direction, because ultimately, I don't think that there's a better truck for towing. And for me, the Cummins is the most fun truck to drive. There's something about the sound, the way it works. It just does it for me, and I really love it. But I just could not put myself through more hassle with that. And I don't know if anybody else has really noticed this either, but the past couple years from 22, my 22 was incredible. I loved the interior. It still had the wood on the steering wheel. The leather was just top notch. And then the 2023 that I had ordered came in, and all the leather was cheaper. some of the stupid stuff, like the seat belts felt way cheaper. You could tell that they ran through that truck and did a whole bunch of cost cutting, whereas GM and Ford right now are, putting money into, improving their trucks, giving you better quality materials and all that stuff. And then for 24, I did just drive a 24 a couple weeks ago, and honestly, I mean, it looks like they took all the leather out of a Laramie, which there's nothing wrong with the Laramie. That's great. But when you pay for a limited, I don't expect you to be putting the cheapest leather that you can possibly put in it that still looks good enough in pictures to fool you that it's limited, but it's kind of not that much of a limited anymore. So Ram, you got to figure it out. I'll buy another truck from you, but not right now. And I think there's a lot of things that Ram needs to do. I think I made a video about that a while ago, talking about like DT cab, trans, bed lengths, blah, blah, blah. They've got a great package, but they need to update it. But really, they just need to get on track, and they need to build us a truck that is not going to let us down on a daily basis, because it seemed like every month it was something with my truck, and it seems like a lot of other customers are having issues as well. So, even with these discounts, people aren't buying trucks, and it couldn't get me to buy a truck, and I spent probably somewhere in the vicinity of about 10 to 12,000 more to buy this truck than I, or than I would have if I bought a Ram. So yeah, that's it, guys. My truck wasn't working out for me, and quite honestly, I just didn't trust the product anymore. So let me know what you guys think. If anybody's got 23s, 24s, or 22s, all the about 22 and up, let's just say. Let me know if you guys have been, one, having issues, two, if you see what I'm seeing with fitment, with materials, with active cost cutting in mind in those trucks. Let me know what you see. Let me know what you're feeling. Let me know what you're hearing. If anybody's got good firsthand experience with any, engine failures and emissions equipment failures. I didn't keep mine long enough before those things actually went kaput. So I'm really curious. So comment down below. And thanks for watching, guys. That's why I left Ram. That's why I left Cummins for now. I don't blame Cummins as much as I do Ram. But I don't know. It's all junk right now. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Hope to make a ton more videos on this truck soon here. And the sun is going down, so I'm going to go home. I'm going to grab me some dinner. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.